Very excited to hear what the president has to say tonight. I know the American public is interested to hear after his first 6 weeks or so on the job. Fast-paced is an understatement. I think we were just saying that I think he is treating every day as though it's the last, and he's making the most of every minute that he has because he knows he's on limited time to get everything accomplished.
Great. I think the Trump administration has done a great job delivering for America. Key aspect of this is that we've been able to put Americans first.
Tonight, we're going to hear from President Trump about the issues most acutely impacting Americans, from the affordability crisis to the border crisis to the international crises around the globe, and what he and Congress can do to address them for the American people. And I'm looking forward to hearing in more detail the president's agenda and how we can move forward to support the American people.
How would you sum up the last 6 weeks of President Trump's presidency?
It's been fast-paced, a lot of activity, which is far different than his predecessor. But we have a lot of challenges that we're facing as a country, and I think the president is moving quickly to try and address them.
Very excited to hear what the president has to say tonight. I know the American public is interested to hear after his first 6 weeks or so on the job exactly how he feels we're progressing and what lies in store for the weeks and months ahead.
All right. How do you sum up his last 6 weeks? Of this presidency? Is fast-paced?
Fast-paced is an understatement. I think we were just saying that I think he is treating every day as though it's the last, and he's making the most of every minute that he has because he knows he's on limited time to get everything accomplished.
Great. Talk to us about what your expectations are from this big address tonight.
Sure. I'm Dusty Johnson. I'm the lone member of Congress from South Dakota. I think Donald Trump's going to talk a lot about the border. Illegal crossings are down 95% in just the last couple of months. I think he's going to talk a little bit about the Ukraine war. And clearly, we want a lasting and fair peace. It seems like he's got a mineral deal that President Zelensky might be in favor of, and that could be a good development.
What do I expect tonight? I think it's going to be, unfortunately, not a good speech, and I'll tell you exactly why. Number one, he's going to have to explain why he is proposing to cut health care for the American people in the form of a Medicare system that's going to affect millions of Americans. He's going to have to explain why he turned his back on the people of Ukraine right in the middle of this horrific invasion by Putin and switch sides in that war, sending all the wrong messages to our allies. And he's going to have to explain why, at a time when we need to be lowering prices for the American people, we're doing tariffs on our next door neighbors, Mexico and Canada, thereby raising prices for the American people, exactly the opposite of what he told the American people. So that's why I'm pessimistic about tonight's performance.
Tonight, we're going to have a great opportunity to really hear from President Trump on three key issues that he's promised to deliver on. The first is American energy independence. The second is our national security, including that at our southern border. And the third is getting our economy back on track. And this means tax cuts to be able to help working class families keep the things they need, as well as bring down federal spending so that we don't have so much money going to Washington and we can keep that money directly in our communities.
How do you round up the last 6 weeks of this presidency?
Yeah, I think the Trump administration has done a great job delivering for America. I think a key aspect of this is that we've been able to put Americans first. One of the key elements of this is we brought some guests in from Iowa who are part of our workforce. You can't have a Made in America First plan without a workforce that's made in America. And this is a partnership that we've done through our trade skills, making sure that people have the apprenticeship programs that work, as well as being able to have those skill sets necessary to do the manufacturing, the advanced technology, and the innovation that really only America is providing in the world.
As a congresswoman and, of course, as a citizen of this country, what are your views about the Zelensky-Trump meeting and, the aid being cut off and how this whole thing has played out over the days?
It was very disappointing to see that interaction with a world leader. I was embarrassed that our president would do that. I believe that Ukraine needs the funding, and I think most Americans support that. And so it was very disappointing to see just how Zelensky was treated at the White House as a foreign leader coming to visit the United States.
I'm expecting my president to talk about how he's going to address the economy, how he's going to make things more affordable, a plan for making universal child care because working families deserve that, a plan to ensure that we protect things like Medicaid, EBT, CalFresh in California, because 80 million people in the United States depend on Medicaid, and we need to make sure we protect those things.
Right. Your views on, the foreign policy, the way it has played out over the days, feds being fired, state of the nation at this point. What are your views on that?
As a Marine Corps veteran who served in the Marine Corps for 7.5 years, I think about my fellow veterans who are getting fired from their federal jobs, and it's absurd to me, because there's one thing we should agree on is that we protect our veterans who defended our rights to be here in the United States. I think about if we want to make things more affordable, we don't fire people, we lift them up. So I'm looking for more leadership coming from the